Hello everyone, Rich Nance here with your Defensive Tactics Technique of the Week. Today we're going to look at ways to counter the draw. Frank, a lot of people that are carrying a concealed weapon, the front waistband is a favorite area. The waistband in general is the most likely place to carry a weapon. Right. And we know that the vast majority of the population, 90 or maybe 92% roughly, are right-handed. So that tells us that it's probably going to be on the right side, like what we would call appendix carry, if we were carrying a holster. Bad guys don't necessarily carry holsters, and
I haven't seen a whole lot of them. No.
Yeah. If they do, it's probably not a real quality holster. And they also may not be very well versed in drawing. I mean, a lot of times I think a bad guy would pre-stage the gun in his hand before he commits some type of act. But it may be a situation where you've contacted someone and he knows, you know, the gig's up, he's going to be going back to jail or to prison, and this is his chance. So he may try to very quickly deploy that firearm, knife, whatever it is that may be, you know, secured in his waist. So one of the things we need to know is what to look for. And if you're here and I'm conducting a field interview card, I'm asking your name and stuff like that so that I can conduct a warrants check or whatever the case is, questioning you. If you make some kind of furtive movement toward your waist, you know, bells need to be going off in my head that you're probably not going to give me your wallet from there, or there's no reasonable explanation for that movement. So when I start to see the elbow, you know, it's probably going to be this hand first to lift the garment. So let's go ahead and do this slowly as you normally would. You're going to lift the garment, then that hand starts coming into play. Now I may not see what it is, but I should key on this type of motion from you that, there's something I need to do. And the answer is not go ahead and draw. The answer is not this, because you're going to win that.
Yep.
That way you have your action against my reaction, and I'm way behind the curve. So I need to do something to interrupt your ability to bring that weapon to bear on me, whatever it is. One simple thing to do is just as I see that, just to thrust a hand down there. Now this isn't some kind of, you know, precise martial arts technique that I'm doing. I'm slapping that area. I don't know if I'm going to hit the gun, your hand, this hand, but whatever it is, can you imagine if you're trying to draw your gun and someone's hitting your hand? It's going to be...
It interrupts your flow of motion.
Exactly. And then what do you do from there? Obviously that doesn't do much. You try to do that. Okay, now what? Well, now you use combative strike, shove him away, whatever you need to do to get distance and time to get to your firearm. That's one option. Another option would be, this is a little more of an advanced technique, which is why I like it a little bit less. If you start to do that same thing, I can try to come in here and like try to capture this and try to take your hand behind your back or something like that. The problem with committing like that is if I don't time it just right, go ahead and draw, I am right in the middle of that thing, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's a knife, a gun, whatever it is. In trying to determine what the best way is to negate this draw, one of the things that I've come up with is to move the other direction. So you can already start almost anticipating that you're probably going to have to go this way unless you're dealing with one of the 8%. But when you see that draw start to occur, if I do nothing more than this, now I'm further away from your weapon and you have to bring it to bear on me. I'm not going like this where I'm right in front of it. So,
and studies have shown, I don't know if you've seen them, the same ones I have, that we as human beings, if we're going to shoot, we like shooting in an arc on movement to our outside. We don't like shooting on an arc of movement to our inside. We don't like to come across our body. So if you're moving to force me across my body, it's another hindrance to my ability to engage you successfully.
Not only physically, but also going back to UDA, you know, he's kind of making you have to reorient to my movement. So as I see that, no fancy stuff here, I'm just simply stepping here. Now what I'm going to do is give you a big shove this way, which is going to further disrupt your draw, and I'm going to come back and draw my own firearm. Again, gross motor movement, that could be done. It doesn't require precision like coming in here and trying to grab your hand. It's a gross motor caveman type technique. I start to see that, I'm going to step this way and I'm going to shove. Now as I shove, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to avoid hitting this area here, because if I do, I'm actually going to orient.
You turn my body.
Yeah, I'm going to turn the weapon to me. I would rather be able to step out here and shove you sideways so the weapon is staying away from me. Another option in that situation is where here you start to do a draw. I simply concentrate on this arm, spin you, and I come and take your flank, and then I can draw and I have bargain position. So these are just some things to consider. When you're up close and someone starts to draw, you certainly have to do something to foul or disrupt that draw. You can't sit there and try to outdraw. It's just not going to happen.